Hello guys, in this video I will go over all the repeated and important questions for the C# interview as a junior and beginner C# developer. Make sure to read all the questions and answers carefully. I'm sure you don't want to lose the job for an easy question. If you are new to this channel, in this channel we will go over all the interview questions, and our goal is to help you to be successful in your interviews. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell to receive notification when we produce more videos like this. I try to answer the questions briefly and it's perfect for before interview. If you need more information about any of these questions, you need to research on the internet. Before reading these questions, you need to make sure following these 3 steps that will help you to have more chance to ace your interview. First, try to review these questions a couple of times. Stop wherever you think you don't understand the question or answer. Search on the internet and try to find similar answers. The best approach is not memorizing the exact answers. If they think that you memorize the answers, they will ask you more questions about that subject. So the best approach here is answering the question with your language. Second, these questions are for a junior or beginner C# interview, but sometimes they will ask you more advanced questions. Try to go over the part 2 and 3 of this series for intermediate and senior questions. Do your best to answer the questions, but if you don't know anything about that subject, it's better not guessing the answer. Third, before each interview, you should go over the job description and make sure that you know enough about each of them. Remember, they won't put something in the job description that is not important for them. Let's start. First question, what is C#? C# is a statically typed, object-oriented programming language by Microsoft for use on .NET platform that you can write programs that will run on Windows, web, mobile, and IoT. Next question is, what is enum in C#? Enum or enumeration type is a value type defined by a set of constant names. We define an enumeration in C# by enum keyword, and also it's a value type. What are properties in C#? C# property is a member of a class. By properties, you can expose private fields. Internally, C# properties are special methods called accessors. Properties have 2 accessors to get and set property. What is namespace in C#? C# namespaces are a container to organize and separate the codes. You can see an example of namespace here. Next question. Can this be used within a static method? No. The static method belongs to itself rather than to a specific object, and this keyword in C# refers to the current instance of the class. What is LINQ in C#? Language or language integrated query is a query syntax in C# to access data from different sources and formats, like objects, datasets, SQL Server, and XML. What are events in C#? Events in C# allow a class to notify other classes when something happens. Sender of the event is the publisher and the receiver is the subscriber. You can see an example of event here. What is an object in C#? An object in C# is an instance of a class that is created dynamically. What is the difference between an array and ArrayList in C#? ArrayLists do not have a specific size, but an array is a fixed number of elements. The array has a better performance in comparison to ArrayList because of the boxing and unboxing. An array is under the system namespace and ArrayList is in system.collection namespace. In ArrayList, we can have null, but not in array. What is IEnumerable in C#? IEnumerable is an interface with the getEnumerator method. By implementing this interface, we have read-only access to elements of collection. What is the difference between constant and read-only in C#? Constant variables are declared and initialized at compile time, and the value can't be changed after that. On the other hand, read-only can change during runtime by setting it in construct. What is the difference between equality operator and equals method in C#? Equal is a method and equality operator is an operator. Equality operator is for reference or comparison, and equal is for content comparison. Can we have multiple catch blocks in C#? Yes, a try block can have more than one catch block for handling different types of exceptions. What is serialization in C#? Serialization is the process of converting an object into a stream of bytes to store the object or transmit in the memory, a database, or a file. What is generics in C#? Generics in C# allow us to define classes or methods that can work with any data type. You can see a generic class here. How do you use the using statement in C#? We can use using a statement in these two situations. As a using directive for adding the namespaces to our code, or as a using a statement. Using a statement play a vital role in improving performance in garbage collection. What is an interface? An interface is a contract. Any class or struct that implements that contract must provide an implementation of the members defined in that interface. Explain different access modifiers in C#. Access modifiers define the accessibility of an object and all of its members in the C# project. Public is accessible everywhere. Private is accessible just inside a class or a struct. Protected is accessible inside the same class and all classes that derive from that class. Internal is accessible only inside its own assembly, but not in other assemblies. Protected internal is accessible in the same assembly and from all derived classes in other assemblies. And private protected is accessible just inside the same assembly and in a type that is derived from that class. What is thread and multithreading? A thread is nothing more than a process. A multi-threaded application can run on several threads. You can see an example of C# multithreading here. What are the synchronous and asynchronous operations? When we execute synchronously, we wait for it to finish before moving on to another task, and it will create a delay in the app. But when we execute asynchronously, we can move on another task before it finishes. What is the difference between continue and break statement? Break statement jump out of the loop, whereas continue skip just an iteration and will continue from the next one. How we can create an array without non-default values? By using enumerable.repeat function. What are delegates in C# and the uses of delegates? Delegates in C# are similar to a function pointer in C. Delegates are used to pass the methods as arguments to another methods. Delegates can be used to define callback methods. Delegates can be chained together, and delegates allow methods to be passed as parameters. What are the differences between directcast and ctype? Directcast is used to cast reference types, but we can use ctype to cast value types. If directcast doesn't match, then it will throw invalid exceptions, but exceptions are not thrown while using ctype. The performance of directcast is better than ctype. What are the fundamental object-oriented programming concepts? Abstraction, the concept or idea which is not associated with any particular instance. Encapsulation, the mechanism of hiding data implementation by restricting access to public methods. Inheritance, creating new classes based on existing classes. Polymorphism. You can have multiple classes that can be used interchangeably, even though each classes implement the same properties or methods in different ways. What are the different types of classes in C#? Partial classes, abstract classes, sealed classes, and static classes. What is anonymous type in C#? Anonymous types allow us to create new type without defining them. We use a var keyword for anonymous type. Anonymous types can contain public read-only properties, and they can contain other members, such as fields, methods, and others. What is Destructor in C#? C# Destructor is a special method of a class, and it's used in class to destroy the object or instance of class. The destructor in C# will invoke automatically as soon as the class instance becomes unreachable. What is method overloading, and what is the difference between the method overloading and method overriding? Method overloading means creating multiple methods in a class with the same names but different inputs and outputs. Method overloading means creating a method in the derived class with the same signature as a method in the base class. What interface should your data structure implement to make the where method work? The collection should implement the IEnumerable interface. Explain the types of comments in C#. We have three types of comments in C#: single line, multi-line, and XML tags. If the video was helpful until here, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more video from us.